to your daily death. I'm Mr. Death, coming at you from Nation 766, coming at you with all things Age of Origins. Today we're going to be talking about fleet formations. Which ones exactly? Well, we're going to start off talking about your attacking monsters formations. And if you do not already have your fleets named, it makes it so much easier to name your fleets. I will go over that here in a second about how to do that. We'll be doing the attack monsters, the attacking troops and or cities. We'll cover plundering and the elite zombie. And then I will touch up at the end on some Medicis. Let's go ahead and dive into the base. I'm going to come down here to our gate, manage troops, fleet army. First one we're going to go over is attacking monsters. And I told you I'd tell you up here in this top corner, that's how you name your formations. But pretty simple. You're going to want to go ahead and start off doing one of each type of unit. But do not, if you can help it, drop tier. You don't want to drop a level on units. But basically, you're going to want to do somewhere around 50% sniper. This also, go ahead and say this before I get too much further into the video. This is for a long-range attack city, not for melee cities or mid-range cities. But you're going to want to do around 50% snipers, and then around 40% cannons. And don't quote my math here, but then you're going to want to do probably around like 6% shielders, and we'll just say 5% shielders and 5% shredders. You want a decent amount of shredders. It depends all really on how much you can hold in your formations. But you're going to want enough shredders to hold back the zombies until they really get to your zombies. Also, basically, you're going to want to max out your zombies on this. But if the zombie is getting past your zombies, you're in trouble. And then you're going to want, say, around like 3-4% shielders. Shielders. Cannons. But this works out very well for me. Just the one of each. A lot of snipers. I would max them out, but I could probably max out my entire fleet with nothing but snipers, because I just make so many of them. But at least around 50% snipers, 40% cannons, a little bit of shielders, throw in a nice handful of shredders, and then you want a drop or two of cannons, just because they got some pretty good damage, but they die real easily. I mean, yeah, at that point, something's going wrong if they're dying. But that's a real quick go over of attacking monsters. Also, you want all of them, if you can have them. It'll be a personal choice if your city level is not high enough to have both titans equipped. It'll be whichever one you have leveled up the most and is more powerful. Now on to attacking cities or troops. You're going to want one of each. We'll go ahead and throw that in. That's going to be basically all around the game. It's just one of each type. And again, same thing. You do not want to drop tier. But also, and this is very similar to the attacking monsters, you're going to want around 50 to 60% shielders. Snipers. My bad, y'all. 50 to 60% snipers. And then back to the 40% cannons. Then probably just around, like 5-6% of your shielders. And then big drop on the shredders. Unlike the monsters where we have a lot of shredders, well, a lot more than this, don't really need them. Because, again, they're going to be the very first thing that dies. They're going to be taking a lot of bullets. And they take up 10 troop units. So for every one shredder you throw down, that's 10 snipers you could throw down. So you don't really want a lot of these. You want to be doing more damage. And then just a little drop in the bucket of EMPs. Because basically whatever kind of EMPs you throw in against them, you're probably going to lose them. They will die. Yeah, they're very fragile. And as for your zombies, when you're attacking troops, you really don't want them. You can throw in one, depending on your level and how many you have. I would suggest throwing in one zombie, just for him to be filling in that spot in the formation. But the reason I got this in here is because max zombies, that's the max amount I can have. So all of these are basically just extras and like stuff from Medici's. So that's why I threw in my little bit. So that's basically, for me, that's the one zombie filling in the formation. But yeah, that's my one. Now on to plundering, which you will only be using. What did I just pick? I picked the wrong one. This is plundering. Yes. You will only be using this formation for whenever you're attacking a city that has no troops, where you're not having to worry about fighting a single thing. This is solely on troop load, is what it's based on. I got my warplane in there just in case something arises and they need some backup, but that should never be the case. You're going to have no zombies at all on this. They hold nothing. But the way you're going to want to set it up is not just come through and doing stuff like that, and then that, and that, and that. You want to go through specific troop types. Starting with, you're wanting to use all the shredders that you can get. This is one of the ones where you drop tier troops, because you're just going to want to max out shredders. All the shredders you have. Then you will come back up to the top, and you're going to use tanks. Next will be tanks. You want to use all the tanks that you have. Then after that, for the amount of load that they be holding, you're going to want to next choose your bikes. Max out all the bikes that you have. You want to drop tier troops all the way down and get all the bikes. Then you will come back up to the top of your list, and you will go with stormtroopers next. You want to max out all your stormtroopers. Yeah. Back up to the top. Next, you're going to want to do... Wow. I'm sorry, I'm reading off of a list that I have, because I was trying to make this right. I skipped over one. Before your stormtroopers, you're going to... First thing you want to do is your shredders, your tanks, your bikes. Then, right before your stormtroopers, you want to do your armor, your heavy armored soldier. Sorry, I skipped over him because there is no dropping tier troops. He is, for me, it's just him. But you do him, then you're going to do your stormtroopers. Then you come back up to the top, put out your infantry. Again, you're dropping tier troops on these. You want to do all the infantry you have. Then you'll come back up, and you're going to be going with your gunners and your rockets. They hold the same amount, and they're both only 1 unit apiece. So you'll just be coming through, maxing out your gunners, your rockets, whichever one you see next, gunners, then rockets, which, as you can tell, as I was doing it, that was right there, that maxed me out on my troop unit, my max troop units. What the hell just happened? Oh, it took something off of another one. Don't worry, I ain't gonna save it. But yeah, you'll max out your gunners. And if you can still fit more units after that, you will want to come back and hit your... I just want to make sure I don't tell y'all wrong. Yes, you will come back. Then you will do your snipers. You will start loading up on your snipers. Maxing those out. And then if you still have room in your fleet for any more troops, and hopefully you don't by then, but in case you do, it will be your shielders. You will start using shielders. Then after that, sorry, I'm having to think about this because I've never really had to go farther than that. What I do know is that your EMP cannons and your other cannons, if it has the word cannon in it, you do not want that for your plundering. Basically because they just take up multiple units and they have a very low load carrying rate. So you're basically using up more units to carry less stuff. So you don't want them in there at all. Now if you have maxed out every other unit you have and you still have room left, well, then of course throw them in there, because you're going after a city that has no units to face, you don't got to fight, and you're just trying to carry back as much stuff as possible. It's kind of like whenever you've attacked a city and there's no troops left, now you're just trying to get all his resources out before they come back online. Yeah, you want to get as much as possible as fast as possible. So that would be the order that you want to choose your troops to set the formation out, so you'll get the max amount of load. And by the way, this is your load limit. Of course, we know this is your troop units you can carry. Right there is your speed you will be traveling at. This is your power that the formation has, and this will be your load. And just for reference, for we'll say my attacking cities, right there I have, this is around 703 power, but I'm able to carry 2.5 million. So yeah, 703 power, 2.5 million carrying, versus there's only 1.5 million I can carry back on that, but it's almost 2 million power. See, it's basically, we've almost swapped those around from power to carrying a load. And also my speed went up, because also your cannons are slow. So my speed went up to 9 on that. Whenever I'm attacking a city, it's only at 8. But you want your cannons when you're attacking cities. Then on to the elite zombie. Well, we are at an elite zombie. If you're not at an elite zombie for... I keep saying elite zombie. Everyone has an elite zombie. I'm sorry, y'all. My fleet formation is set up for the mutant ghoul. If you do not have a mutant ghoul as your elite zombie, I would suggest just keep using your attack monsters fleet. But for the elite zombie, he's one in his own kind. So he kills everything in one blast. I don't care how many units you have in there. You can max out everything you have on shredders, and he's going to come through and just one blast kill every one of them. So you're just going to want one troop of everything until you get to your back row. You'll set this one up by hitting this up here. You're just going to want one troop of everything in your front row. Do not drop tier. Then you'll come to your middle row. One troop of everything. Do not drop tier. Go ahead and go to your zombies. Max them out. He's still going to kill them in one shot, but at least you're getting more damage in before he kills them. And they do not take up room in your troop units. Then you'll come to your back row. You're going to want to get as many cannons in there as possible. Which it looks like I can still fit. Hang on, I'll fix that later. You're going to want to max out. Stop that. You're going to want to max out your cannons. Then your shielders. Actually, let me take that back. You're going to want to max out your cannons. And then your snipers. Then your shielders. It looks like I got more shielders in here than snipers, but that's not the case. I got 93,000 snipers. Only 15,000 shielders. But, yeah. You're going to want to max out cannons, snipers, then shielders. And unless you have a lot more different amounts of troops than I do, then you can use your cannon. But it dies a lot faster than your snipers. Well, your snipers will be the last units on the map besides your Titans and Warplane. So you want these to outlast everything. Well, they're going to outlast everything. You want a lot of these because they're going to be the last thing shooting and doing damage. That is for the Elite Zombie. Now, we won't go over Mother of Doom because that sends every unit you have. The only stipulations or advice I will give on doing the Mother of Doom would be your Titans. Which again, if you can send both Titans, doesn't matter. Send both of them then. Send every single thing you have at that moment. But if you can only choose one Titan whenever you're going after the Mother of Doom, then that will depend on your zombies. If you have a lot of zombies, like I do, like if I could send all of these, that's a buttload of zombies. I ain't even going to do the math on that. You're going to want to choose your female Titan, because basically a lot of her powers is boosting your zombie stats. So as you can see in some of my other videos, if you watch about Mother of Doom, I choose her, and you'll see, I'll show you in the videos the difference that happens between your male and female Titan. But if you do not have a lot of zombies, then you're going to want to choose your male Titan, basically because he's his own little powerhouse. He doesn't power up zombies. And for Medici's, when you're going into Medici's lair, the units that the formation you will want to choose is, a lot of people will say you're attacking monsters, but actually I feel like it's a little bit more close to the attacking troops, except for one complete 180 turn, 360 turn, whatever. But you're going to actually want to have 0 of your front line. I mean, you could choose 1 of each. It ain't going to hurt. And then just 1 each of your mid row. Ain't going to hurt either. But then, of course, you're going to want to max out zombies, which on Medici's, you can actually max out zombies and get, it lets you have up to, I think it's 3 times the amount of zombies that you're actually allowed to carry normally. And then you're going to want to do your snipers, cannons, shielders, and your EMPs. And whenever you're getting the buffs from rolling the dice in that, you're going to want to get anything and everything you can just for your zombies. If you look at some of my videos on Medici's where I make it to the last level, I use that formation. It is commonly known as the zombie tank, because you really don't have a front row. Within a first half second, they all die. You don't really need mid row, because that's just a waste of units. You want all of your units to go into your back row, aka mainly snipers and cannons. Yeah, that does it pretty much for that. Sorry about making this kind of quick, not getting too in-depth about it. I will try to make another in-depth video about why you choose these troops. And I've not covered Doom's Iron Grip. That will be a video completely on its own, because that guy is crazy. I've spent many of hours trying to track down exactly what does most damage to him. And I've got it basically all written down on paper right now, but still got to figure out one more thing. But until then, happy hunting, and y'all keep growing stronger. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this content, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out, y'all.